Today I want to unpack what Klaviyo means by the Omniverse and how I think this is transformational for where marketing automation is going on Shopify. And there's 4 key things that I got out of this week that I want to share with you in this video. So one is that they have a vision of one platform for campaigns across channels. The second thing is that they are launching more channels to really move beyond email and SMS. And this leads into more data for the Klaviyo data platform. And I think eventually we'll take Klaviyo into the world of ads and sort of top of funnel marketing. So I had the pleasure this week of being at the K London event in London and listening to the founder AB talk about Klaviyo's roadmap. So let's unpack a few of the things he said and what I think that means for Klaviyo's future and indeed the future of marketing automation on Shopify. So the first thing that really struck me from the Klaviyo keynote was this Omniverse view, this one platform for campaigns across channels. And why that's so important is that currently a lot of marketing is siloed. We do things in different teams on different tools. So when Klaviyo surveyed the brands and said, look, do we feel like we're unifying that data and using it effectively? Only 1 in 8 brands responded confidently. And we see that across companies. We see people doing email and using one tool for that. People doing SMS using a different tool for that. People doing the ads using something totally different entirely. So I think Klaviyo has a very powerful vision to try and bring that all together in the one marketing automation platform and even orchestrate all of that in one campaign builder.
All right, I'd like to show you our vision, what we're going to do, what we're going to release some product around the new Klaviyo, what we're calling the Omniverse. And our Omniverse is about taking all of the channels, all of the experiences, all of the data and results, and backed by everything you know about all your customers and pulling it all into one place. Now we've already started to do this. We've done this if you're a Klaviyo customer. We've already done this with flows. We've done this with some of the tools we give you around audience growth. You can embed on your website. You're already multi-channel. Well, today we're going to take a big step forward and we're going to finish the job. And we're going to do this for campaigns as well. All right? Coming in the next, it now is available in private beta. We'll let you sign up. You can sign up. We'll show you the QR code in a few minutes. Now, what we did with forms, we did audience growth, you can now do with campaigns as well. We're going to give you one canvas where all of your messaging can go. It will support all of the channels Klaviyo supports. We've got a couple of new channels we're going to launch today as well. It has all of your results in one place. No more wondering, well, who's actually should get the attribution? And it's embedded with AI.
So I think this omni-channel, omniverse vision, we can laugh at it, but it really does take Klaviyo away from the competition because a lot of their competitors are really strong in the niche. You have people like Atento and Postscript who are really good at SMS. You've got other email platforms who are really good at what they do and some specialist WhatsApp providers like Coco AI, but none of them can orchestrate and be excellent across all of the channels. Now, it's early days to see whether Klaviyo can be great at all those channels, but if they can, this bringing it all into one platform, omni-channel view is very powerful. So let's look a bit closer at that campaign builder that effectively flows for campaigns. We want to look at that campaign series and how that works.
So I mentioned all of your messages, all of your experiences in one place. So for Castor, summer just started. We've launched some new products. We're going to run our summer campaign. Previously in Klaviyo, in a lot of market platforms, you're limited to this idea of a campaign is one by one message at a time. We've totally rethought this, so now your concept of the campaign is only limited by how you want to group your messages and your experiences. So in this case, we picked all of our best customers, our VIPs. We're going to do a launch to them. We have an email coming out, then follow with a text message, and then if you look to the left, we can use that channel affinity directly in the campaign builder to route that final message to each person's preferred channel. It could be a WhatsApp, an email, or a text message to their phone.
So you heard I mention there the second exciting thing, which is more channels. Now, Klaviyo calls it omni-channel. I think that's a bit extreme, every channel, but really there are more channels. And the 2 main ones they're launching now are RCS, which is really an upgraded text message, and WhatsApp, which has been long awaited in Europe. So let's look at how they are going to do that.
Well, I'm very excited today. We're announcing 2 new members to the Klaviyo family of channels, RCS and WhatsApp. All right. Now, both of these you can sign up for. We'll show you some links in a second. They're already in private beta. We have a wait list going where we're progressively letting folks in. But I want to show you a little bit of what's possible. If you're not familiar with RCS, we'll tell you a little bit about what's possible, and same for WhatsApp. So let's start with RCS. With RCS, the best way I like to describe it, you can think about it as SMS 2.0. SMS is great, it's real time, it's very intimate. With RCS, the quality of the content and the experience is getting a lot better. First, no more sending just from a phone number that feels anonymous. Who's this coming from? Can I trust it? With RCS, you can register and verify your identity. So you get a logo, a name, people know that it's coming from you. Second, the content is leveling up in a big way. You can send richer media, things like video, the ability to do product carousels, more complex, almost mini applications inside of a RCS, inside of a text message. You can do that. So you can imagine integrating this with things like Klaviyo product recommendations, where, let's say, with Pastor, when we launch our new campaign, hey, if I actually know what product somebody's likely interested in, I'm not limited to just listing their names and asking somebody to click through. I can actually show them those products live inside of RCS and let people engage with that. On top of that, RCS will also give you better analytics on how people are engaging with this new media inside of their messaging app. Right, and then with WhatsApp, the most popular social network on the planet, we're very excited WhatsApp for business, for marketing, for messaging, to be launching that as well. Here with WhatsApp, there's also, again, more form factors, richer media that you can work with, better analytics, and the ability to connect over a channel that for a lot of us is our primary application when we're messaging each other and when we want to stay in touch.
So those new channels are both long awaited. RCS was something that's been touted a lot by Attentive. They were part of the development of this new standard in the US. And it looks like Klaviyo really stole a march there in terms of launching this very quickly afterwards. There are lots of great things it can do, particularly around analytics, so tracking views of messages, not just clicks. So that takes us on to the third point, which is more data for the Klaviyo data platform. AB talks a lot about data capture, and they really mean it, that they want this virtuous loop where the more people are capturing more data into Klaviyo, the harder it becomes for any other platform to disrupt them, because they won't have the same level of segmentation and targeting possibilities. So it's obviously in Klaviyo's interest to create more ways you can capture data. So the first thing they talked about was being able to capture that in custom objects. Here's how you do that.
Now, if you know Klaviyo, you've seen this kind of view before. We can see which channels Alex is subscribed to. We have lots of profile data. We have these metrics here on the right about what channels they're engaging with. In this case, it's WhatsApp. They've submitted a review, things they've ordered. Awesome. In fact, actually, with Klaviyo, one of the things we're going to talk about this afternoon, we're extending the data model. So now you can see what we call custom objects, stateful data. Not just events of when somebody buys something or returns it, but now for things like events or subscriptions. You can capture that data, and as it changes, you can update it in real time inside of Klaviyo. So in this case, our friend Alex, hey, Castor's got a bunch of stores, they have an activation, pop-up event. Alex, bought a ticket, or registered, he attended, and he made a purchase. We have all that data. It's another way to store data inside of Klaviyo, and you can use it inside of segmentation to personalize content, all available natively.
So this is also where Littledata comes in, because by sending more enriched events into Klaviyo about on-site activity, product views, adds to cart, we're enriching that custom profile in a similar way and finding more ways you can segment and target those users. So while Klaviyo is encouraging people and partners to send data into Klaviyo, I'd also be a bit threatened if I was a form builder or a pop-up company, because that Klaviyo intends to do a bit more of that. But firstly, here's how you would use their new WhatsApp integration to capture data by text.
All right, so let's take a look at what that looks like in our example. So for our Castor, for our summer launch, you can see our WhatsApp message here. We'll see this is what it looks like inside of WhatsApp. So you can see immediately, rich media, imagery, text, and then critically, I actually get this option of I can add links or buttons. So one is you can take somebody directly to a shop page, but in this case, we've also created a little quiz, a little survey. So if I want to collect some first-party data, I can start that quiz. Even though somebody has to click a button, they don't have to type it all out. And I can ask, hey, what activities are you into? And what's your favorite color? And rather than relying on somebody typing and not mistyping things, I can use these kinds of buttons in this architecture to get cleaner data. Now, from that, you'll notice one, we can store it inside of the Klaviyo data platform. So I have that. That data is available to me across all channels for analytics in the future. Help me decide and plan maybe what products to build next. And then also I can use that data to drive product recommendations. All of this, one platform.
So at the moment, that audience sync with the ad networks is really just a Klaviyo pushing a list of emails into Meta or Google so you can retarget based off a list of emails. And that's useful in some extent, but doesn't capture anywhere near the full range of advertising possibilities. But I found fascinating in a talk later in the day how they're hinting at pulling data in from the ad platforms and bring that into their multi-touch attribution modeling. So this is from the product manager, Christian, in charge of marketing attribution.
Well, we all know that you're going somewhere else to get that view of the data, and the attribution model is, from a Klaviyo perspective, is really just a directional signal of how is this marketing performing? And that's fine, right, when our focus is just on Klaviyo and messages. And our goal for this year is to really become the first marketing automation platform that goes beyond just Klaviyo and measuring this to give you that source of information and that read on these things, such that data that you're getting out of Klaviyo, even if you're not using us as that source of truth, is appropriately adjusted to reflect the presence of those interactions. For example, your welcome series flows tend to overstate revenue today because we don't take into account the acquisition channel that would have driven that individual to the site before they made the purchase. So with the omnichannel attribution work that we're doing, it'll start to account for that and adjust that down so you're able to get a more accurate read on what the true value of those types of interactions and engagements are across your entire marketing strategy.
So when it comes to attribution, Klaviyo really do mean omnichannel. They mean Google, they mean Meta, they mean TikTok, they mean pulling in touch points that are happening before Klaviyo's automation kicks in. And this is a big step forward. As he said, it'd be the first time marketing automation tool has tried to look at the contribution from top of funnel. But I think it's also takes Klaviyo on a really interesting path where they might actually be able to automate campaigns in those ad channels to that same audience. So you'll be able to pick a segment in Klaviyo, maybe send them an email, orchestrate an SMS, and retarget that same group on Instagram. So I think that's fascinating. Definitely not one for this year, but I really do think Klaviyo should be taken seriously when they talk about omnichannel and what that really means. So in conclusion, it was a really fascinating insight into Klaviyo's roadmap. I think they are very open about where they're going as a company. They have huge momentum. And I do feel that they are stepping away from the competition in terms of launching some of these features in quick succession that stack up to be a very differentiated product.